What's up, y'all? How you doing? Welcome back to the swamp. This is Nicholas Brown, aka King Nick Anthony, coming at you one more time with another response. It's a response to a brother who he dropped a video in the comment section of something that my boy Knowledge, whose YouTube channel I'm going to post in the descriptions box. Knowledge and brother Brad Blue Bathgate of Harlem, New York, I believe it is. And he made a quick video on his phone talking about how women and young men are dressing in the church. You know, young brothers rocking the skinny jeans, hat cocked to the side, all in church when they should be taking their hats off, and women dressing up like they're at the club, looking all stank. And while you sitting there trying to get your praise on, you look to the side and you see all kinds of titty meat hanging out of the cleavage. You know, you trying not to pay attention to that. You trying to get your praise on, your amen on. You trying to say hi to Sister Sarah and your grandma's friends and stuff like that, being respectful. Next thing you know, you see a female walking by with some tight shit on. You sitting there, you trying to keep eye contact with Sister Sarah, trying to be nice, but then in the corner of your eye, you see all kinds of ass walking by you, and you trying to hold that eye contact the best you can, but you break for 2 seconds, and then you look back at Sister Sarah, and Sister Sarah looking at you like, you damn heathen, I saw you, boy. Because she done been around the block. She ain't new to this. She true to this. You know what I mean? Anyway, I agree with the brother, man. I agree with the brother. You know, I understand in the Bible it says, come as you are, but, man, come on, man. You're doing too much. I break all this down in my book, Dragonflies in the Swamp. The section is called, for the little anecdotes and stuff like that, it's called To Whom You Praise Bless. So go ahead, get the book so you can see what it is I'm talking about. My anecdotes, my few experiences that I had about that. See, and a lot of the people, they take the whole phrase "come as you are" and they take it extremely literal. You know, there's a time and a place for everything. You see what I'm saying? Like if women, when you're first dating a guy, most women will try their hardest not to pass gas around a guy that they really like. They'll wait till that guy leaves and then stink up the place. But bottom line, when they're around a guy that they like, they try to hold that shit in. You see what I'm saying? They ain't gonna release. They ain't gonna fart and break wind or burp. They're gonna be as ladylike as possible. See, there's a time and a place for everything. So why would you want to come in there with your booty cheeks hanging out, just wearing on some tight stuff, turning heads, wearing on the little 4 to 5 inch heels? I'm like, come on, shawty. I'm trying to say amen, and then they pass around a collection plate. I look to the side, and you looking like a video vixen or something, I can't do that. It's only but so much a brother can do, Now with the guys rocking their hats in church or what have you, I kind of hear what he's saying. Take your hat off, show some respect. Take your brim off. I mean, you can sit there for an hour or two, however long your church service. Come back, and when you step outside, put it back on. I mean, will it kill you to do that? No. Then take your goddamn hat off. Have some respect. Now, a lot of times I feel that, pastors and church people, the older folks, or the ones that feel that you got to have some class, understand that, you got to cover that up. But with some pastors, some, not all, because people will be like, oh, he said all. No, some, SOME, as in a small percentage of pastors and church folks, they just figure they're, in my opinion, I feel they're just going with the times. Like, I remember when I was way younger, and they used to drag me to church. My grandma, she went to like the old-fashioned churches. I mean, they'd be singing Mahalia Jackson songs and playing, just old school. My grandma, old school Jamaican lady, and she used to play all kinds of old old reggae, not reggae, but Jamaican choir songs or whatever, you know. And years go by, now they have R&B type tracks in the church. You see what I'm saying? Soul music type tracks in the church. Instead of a live band, a lot of them they pretty much have a DJ that has a iMac or whatever, or a laptop. You know what I'm saying? An Apple laptop going to work, DJing for the church. You know what I mean? No live bands really too much. They pretty much just have a dude pushing buttons on a computer, playing music. Never would have made it. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. They just let it ride, you know? Or the choir sing along to like an R&B type soul track. You see what I'm saying? Instead of a band, they just let the track play. But bottom line is just pastors going with the times. And I guess they figure long as they come in, and with some pastors, not all, with some pastors, long as they come in and spending all that money, tithe and offering, which ain't really supposed to be tithe and offering, but, you know, that's a whole nother conversation. Long as they coming in there breaking bread, they don't care how you come, just as long as that collection plate is fat enough to pay some pastors' bills. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, bottom line, some pastors, they just figure we're just going with the times, you know. Now, I'm going to break off from that, spin off that, and get into something else. Because it kind of trips me out how some women act when they get to dressing all stank, especially with some of the church females, you know. Because in the book, there's an anecdote about me and a church sister interacting and how that went down. And it kind of trips me out with situations like that. When you see a woman wearing on something sexy, and you go to approach her, and then she want to look at you as if you're doing something wrong. You're like, wait, hold up. You wearing on this tight ass outfit, and you expect me not to say something? You expect me not to holler? Come on, man. Be real. Like Dave Chappelle said in the joke, you may not be a whore, you may not be a prostitute. I'm paraphrasing here. You may not be a whore, you may not be a prostitute, but you do have a prostitute uniform on. That's just like him, Dave Chappelle, comedian dressed as a cop, walking down the street like, police officer, help me. Just because and he turns around and says, just because I'm dressed this way doesn't mean I got to help you. You know what I mean? Come on, this is real freaking confusing. But some chicks, they don't trip on that. It all depends on the guy. If it's like a guy that's handsome or rich, driving in the fly ride in the Benz or in a suit or something, and they approach that woman, they'll let it slide. Like if it's a guy that they're unattracted to and he tries to make a move, she might berate that guy for him, yell at him, "Oh, get your ugly ass from by me!" You know, say something that's just extremely rude to get the guy away from her, you know. But if it's the right guy that approaches her in the right way, like a dude, I don't seen it before. Like this is one female who I know. We were at the Martin Luther King parade a few years back, and a dude, he opened his mouth and said, "Damn, she looked like she got a fat ass pussy." She turned around and smiled, and you know the dude, he had all, you know, just looking thugged out as possible. As thugged out as possible, you know. She smiled, thought it was cute, gave him her number, and then they hooked up a few times, you know. So yeah, it all depends on the guy, you know. And some of these females, you got to understand, you know, guys were programmed to try to approach women. We're programmed to try to holler at y'all. So don't get mad at us if we come to approach you, especially if you have on some tight stuff or you have on something that's revealing or that's very attractive to us. All right? If anything, just come up with a way to let guys know that you don't want to be bothered with, you know. But do expect to be hollered at. I mean, a lot of y'all could just dress very conservatively and lower your chances of being bum rushed like that, you know. I mean, some dudes, they holler at anything walking, regardless of what they have on. This is true. But the way I see it, don't increase your chances of getting hollered at and approached on the street by dressing all stank, especially in the house of worship, then you wouldn't have Deacon Jones trying to holler at you, knowing damn well he's been married to Sister Jones for 25 years, trying to be your damn sugar daddy, all right? Once again, thumbs up the Dragonflies in the Swamp page. Everything's in the descriptions box. I'll be sure to have my man Knowledge's stuff in the descriptions box. Brad Bathgate, I'll have his stuff up, his link down there as well, along with the information to purchase Dragonflies in the Swamp in ebook /PDF form. Audiobook, I'm working on that. Like I said, sometime after the 25th, after I proofread the first paperback, it will be available through my Create Space page. You can order it. It'll come right direct to you. Create Space is an outlet for writers that Amazon.com help partner with. So it's an official site. It's nothing rinky-dink about it, you know? So, yeah. Thumbs up the Dragonflies in the Swamp page. Like this if you digging the information that I'm spitting. Share this and chime in. Give me your insight. You know, whatever topic that you feel you want to talk about, just holler at your boy. And shout out to my boy Josh Haynes. He's working on his own. He's trying to get his Blog Talk Radio on. Spoke to him earlier. It was a cool experience, you know. Like to hear from the brother, see how he's doing, you know. He's very enthusiastic young man, and I pray nothing but the best for him, you know. Anyway, chime in, subscribe, peace.